Attempts to communicate with the dead and other living human beings have been documented back to early human history. The role of the medium is to be an intermediary between the world of the living and the world of the dead by tuning into the spirit world by listening, sensing, or seeing spirits and symbols. Either directly or with the help of a spirit guide, the medium passes the information on to the message's recipient. World-renowned author, ordained minister, and certified medium, Reverend Charline Schine, has spent a lifetime learning and teaching what she believes is everyone's natural-born ability to communicate with the spiritual world. While no evidence has been accepted by the wider scientific community in support of the view that communication between the living and the dead exists, for those who have experienced Reverend Shine's gifts, they know it's real.
Hi, I'm Charline Schine. I'm an ordained spiritualist minister and a certified medium. And my field of expertise is the mediumship. I have, of course, the psychic abilities, as all mediums and psychics do, but I chose to become the medium because of it encompasses healing, closure, peace of mind, and it brings hope to people. And that's what I have always, I'm what's classified as a natural medium. I've been doing this since I was 2 years old. Scared my mom to death with it. She used to tell me, will you stop doing that? And of course I had no clue what that was. It was many years later, and oddly enough I chose a career as a hospice nurse for a career choice. So my late husband that passed always made a joke of it. Yeah, marry and bury them and talk to them when they're dead. So that is what mediumship is. It's a connection. Certain people are born with energy that can easily be raise it up to meet the energy from the other side. They lower theirs, we raise ours. That's how the connection's made. Okay? I do have a moral and an ethical responsibility to you. And that is to give you the information exactly as I get it. Now, I'm not here to tickle your ears, so no shooting the messenger, no kicking the medium. No, I won't kick you either. When we work, Marie, correct?
Yes, Madison.
Okay, Marie, when we work solely for the highest and best on both sides. So that means you're not going to get any negative, scary stuff, so to speak, from me. My head's not going to spin around, the table's not going to raise up. You could maybe hear a rap or something like that. Sometimes the loved ones who've passed would maybe want to wrap you alongside the head, or you might feel a cool breeze or something like that. I really don't know. And the other area is that when I work, a lot of times names will come through. If you recognize a name, wonderful. If you don't worry. I don't want you to worry about it, because it's either not time for you to recognize that person. It can be someone you don't know, or it can be what we call guides or angels that really want to work with you to enlighten your spiritual knowledge. We are all here to serve, not be served. And we're all an intricate part of someone else's life. You came in, sat down, and requested a session, so that means you opened doors. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to believe or not believe. As my little sign says there, you alone are responsible for your actions after your session, and it's your job to interpret what the session is, okay? My job, ethically and morally, is to give it to you exactly as I get it, okay? This side is mom's side of the house, this side is dad's side. So you'll hear me say mother's side of the household. It can mean someone who's connected in some fashion. It doesn't necessarily have to be a family member. It can be a friendship tie, it can be someone that she knew 30 years ago, okay? And a lot of times they'll give the name, so we know who we're dealing with, okay? I do ask that you just be open and just let it flow how it'll go. If I don't get anything, I'm going to tell you that. Ethically, most ethical professional mediums. They'll say, I'm sorry, I'm just not getting it. It doesn't mean the reader's not good or that you're not, doing what you should be doing. It just means the energies and the connections aren't correct for that day. You could come back the next day and they could be perfect. So we never really know. You see the white candle burning? That's important. If I don't have them burning, I won't work. Because that is very significant, especially with mediumship. Psychics not so much, but mediums absolutely. Because it represents purity of love and intent and God's unconditional love. And it's a protection against opening doors. You remember, we're opening doors, and we don't want Mr. Dahmer directing our social life, So you want to make sure, the prayer that I say is, I am surrounded by love. My loved ones are here. I shall have my heart's desire as God sees fit. I close myself to all that is negative and undeveloped. I open myself to all that is holy and pure. The Lord is in my holy temple. Let there be peace. I am a spirit. I am free. Nothing but good will come from me. When we say that prayer, it automatically raises our personal energies higher above all the lower levels where the non-spiritually evolved people are. Doesn't make them evil, doesn't make them bad, it makes them gone, and we don't want to bring them back into a they are more spiritually evolved. So we don't deal with them, okay? I can guarantee you're not going to go out of here with nothing you didn't bring in. If I could do that, I'd be a millionaire. But as we work, you can ask questions. I do not give out death and dying information. I am not a doctor. I don't diagnose or prescribe. If I got pain in my leg, so do you. But any other questions other than that area, just feel free to ask. It's not going to interrupt anything. Where are they going to go? They're here. Where are they going to go? Back home. And that's all. That's how I view it, as going home. I truly believe we are spirit beings having an earth walk, and we're here to learn and have other people learn from us to reach the highest spiritual goals we can get. And of course, that's back to the Godhead. Okay? As I pull into your energies, I feel very good about you personally. All right? I really find that when you're sitting across from someone who has rather see the glass half full than half empty, it's an automatic high, a higher energy. I would ask for you to watch, because right now the energy around feels like you're coming and going. And you're going to meet yourself. I do feel that there's a lot of things that are unsettled that you need to maybe prioritize what really is important first, and then work down the list instead of jumping around. Okay, and that can have to do with your career choices, that can have to do with health, family, almost any area. You need to prioritize what's really important and where you want to go. As I pull in, as I said, father's side of the household, there's an energy, and it has a very fatherly energy to it. He's grinning at me, and the reason he's grinning was your dad's name Clarence?
Yes.
And the reason he's grinning at me is because I lost a husband named Clarence, and I wasn't sure at that precise moment when I first heard the name if it was Fred fooling around with me. No, thank you. He's laughing. He said, no, it's... Starts with butter? No. Say again, please. Oh, come on. Buck? Buck? Mud Buck? That starts with a B. It would have been a nickname.
My dad?
Yeah.
Butch.
Okay, thank you, because I heard Bud Buck Butch, it just kind of rattled it so fast I didn't hear it clear enough. Okay, that wasn't his name though. It wouldn't have been his real name. He comes in very strongly around you, but he is also coming in with a concern for your mom. Okay? Happy anniversary. Is there an anniversary date having just passed or coming up? When did he pass?
He passed in August. He just had a birthday. Mom just had a birthday.
Okay. When they say happy anniversary, it usually means their time that they left here and went there. They recognize that as a joyous time, not bad. All right. So that would be coming up. But also he asked for you to give your mom a yellow rose for some reason. I don't know what the significance is. She should know, either it's something she really likes or it may have been something he really liked. But it's not a dozen, it's just one. He's presenting her with just one yellow rose. And he said, I have to, men are so, they're not real tactful, let's put it that way. Especially on the other side, because they don't have anybody that's going to slug them. And I have to give it to you exactly the way he's saying it. And it won't mean a thing to me because it's not for me. And if it's not for you, you'll probably recognize who it is for. He's saying, for God's sake, quit looking at your ass. It isn't any bigger. Do you understand that? Somebody's either worrying about, my interpretation of that, which is not my job, would be that someone's worrying about gaining weight in their behind. And it has to do with their immediate family. So it has to be you or someone in your family. Oh my God, my butt's getting big. So he said, for God's sake, stop, because always looking behind in a mirror. And he's saying, it's fine, it's fine. Is Sam your daughter, hon?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because he's saying granddaughter, and he's a little, I want to say it feels like he's waffling with her as to what career choices she should follow, because she's all over the place with him. And he's saying the kid still hasn't made up her mind what she wants to be when she grows up. And then very softly said, if she grows up. So I want to say he's been kind of keeping an eye on her to keep her on the straight and narrow, or whatever her heart dictates. He'll help her do it, but she has to decide what she wants to do. He says he knows she's young yet, she still has years, but she needs to have a goal. She needs, go ahead, thank you. She needs to have a 5-year plan, okay? And he said if she even tries that, it may clarify, because he said she's all over the place with what she wants to do. That's usual for a young woman anyways, but he's more concerned that she won't make up her mind in time to get probably the schooling she needs or the financial concerns here. Okay? He keeps going back to your mom. There's some health issues going on there. And she's not speaking about it because he's going like this to me, that, you know, hand over the mouth. That means she's not saying something. He's telling me it is, no, I don't like to. He says, you want me to show you? I said, no. It's a feeling like all of a sudden there's just no energy, like she can't lift her arm or her legs. Okay? You understand that? It's just like all of a sudden it's like a balloon has popped with a pinprick in it, and it's just all nothing. He's saying she needs to have that checked. She's trying to say, oh, I'm just getting older. I mean, it has nothing to do, I mean, yeah, we do when we get older, but not to that extreme. And I'm not a doctor, I can't diagnose anything here, but if it were my loved one, I would be asking for, to have a blood chemistry done to see what chemicals are not where they belong. And I don't know, is she diabetic, honey?
She's been tested for it, it's never showed up, but she is having some issues under her.
Okay, thank you, because there's something that needs to be checked, and he's concerned. And they're showing me a needle, so I don't know that it means diabetic. Usually usually when they show me a syringe like that, it means there's something to do with diabetes. But it can also, with her feeling the way like, oh, you know, it could be an immune system thing where she may have to have shots to boost her immune system. But it's something with a shot, just remember we spoke of it, okay? He's saying something about the other side of you, your other half, not me, and it's not husband half, the other half of you. He's kind of grinning. So, who's the other half to you? Not in a marriage, not in a romantic connection. A brother or sister who's like you, though.
My brother Shane's my twin.
There's the other half of you. I'm trying to think. I never met anybody.
I know.
You know? So at least I have never seen nobody the other half of you. It does, there's something going on there. It is, thank you. He says the other part of you is having difficulties emotionally and ups and downs. And when I hear ups and downs, it usually means a cycling like depression.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a bit
Okay. Tell him that he's watching over him. He still loves him and he is proud of him. Didn't get a chance to say it to him, but he said, I would have said it to him. Okay? But he could be such a nudge.
Yes.
Okay? That he didn't get the opportunity because half the time he was mad at him. And not upset with him, not
Right.
mad, but upset with his actions or upset with the way he thought. He says, it took me a long time over here, even though it hasn't been years, but it took him a long time to understand that Shane, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Shane had a chance to choose his own path instead of your dad dictating what it should have been.
Right.
Okay, and that's where they lock horns. I don't want to do what you did. I want to do what I want to do. Okay, so it was kind of like a bone of contention between them. But never once did he not love your brother or not be proud of him. All right, he needs to hear that from you because now your dad can't tell him himself. All right. Upcoming trips, absolutely. You have one scheduled to go out of town, not in Pennsylvania, out of town. I would say if you don't have it already scheduled, remember we spoke of it, look to June or July because I'm getting the warm season.
Okay.
And those are usually the warm seasons. So there's something coming up at that time that you're going to be traveling. All right. He said, watch your mother for contractual things. Watch over her, not necessarily with her, but watch over her, because he says she's not a businesswoman,
No.
and she could make mistakes. And I'm hearing pound and bang, so I have it say it has to do with her properties, where she's either going to add on or take something away and fix it. And he's saying make sure that whoever's doing this, there is a contract that's in black and white, whether it's family or whether it's an outsider, so that she gets exactly what she's supposed to get.
Okay.
Okay? You know, best laid plans of mice and men can go awry when family's helping. And you don't want that to happen to her. So if I was there, you know it wouldn't. But he's not there. He's there, but he's not there. And tell his sweetheart, tell his sweetheart that he is there, and she does see him. She's beginning to think she's seeing things. Yes, you did meet me. Thank you. He says, when I met you, yes, he did it. He was sitting in a theater.
That's right.
I didn't get to meet him. I didn't meet him socially like like you meet other people, but I seen him. He says that I have to give it to you the way he's saying it. He said he had his doubts about Paul at the beginning, but now he's given like the stamp of approval because he does. You are his heart song, and that's what Dad's saying. He says, and he says, and then the damn loud music. So just leave it, it'll come to you when it's supposed to. He said the damn loud music, he wasn't sure about that. It's referring to Paul, so it had to be something that Paul did that had loud music, because he's saying he wasn't sure about that. But after he seen how he was with you, now he's got the stamp of approval. There is a feeling of indecisiveness around you guys. You need, I'll say it like it is, okay? He says you guys need to shit or get off the pot. So I want to say to you that whatever it is you're dragging your feet with, Dad's on board. And he's saying you'll make the right choice, but you got to make a choice. The more you kind of push it aside, put it on the back burner, because he's pushing it away. the less benefit you're going to get. Okay? There is money coming in. There would be more money coming in. I want to say within the next 4 weeks there's going to be some money that you can work with. All right? It's not the lottery or something like that. Oh, I wish I could do that. I would be a millionaire. And I would share it. But money's due you or money's owed you is where I want to put it. Either for purchases or something that you sold or something that someone owes you for. Okay? Next 3 weeks, you're probably going to see monies coming in. Not a whole bunch at all at once, but trickling in, and then kind of more of a big amount. All right? But you got a 3 or 4 week span here to... So just keep eating macaroni and cheese, like all the rest of us. Hot dogs if you're lucky to go with it. You know? But I do see it lessening up. Definitely moving. Changes there because I've seen suitcases packed, but I'm also seeing like boxes and stuff packed and set aside. So I want to say either you're going to get rid of stuff or you're actually going to move. Okay. All right, so one of those two things. If you're actively looking to move, then it's more apt to be that. Okay? I don't feel that, he said, for God's sakes, well, change your eating habits. I don't know what it means, don't want to know, but he's saying that you're not healthy because of the way you're eating. All right? Nuke. Third, even fourth, opinions or consultations with doctors. And that refers to you.
To me?
To you personally. So if you've had 1 or 2 doctors already that have looked at a health issue around you, then don't be surprised if there isn't a third or a fourth even opinion. Then make a decision. Okay, twice? Have you been to the same doctor twice? Is it for your eyes or your chest?
I've been to doctors for my eyes.
Okay. If you've been twice, because I started to say times. I started to say 3 and it came out T. 3 times. If this is an ongoing doctor, if this is your main physician, okay, he may refer you then to some other people. Don't do anything that you don't feel comfortable with. Now we're talking like surgery or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're absolutely on board with it. Okay, Marie, just because they say you need it doesn't mean it's a good alternative to do.
Okay.
I want you to do research, I want you to ask other people, I want you to ask other doctors before you would make that, because that's a major choice. All right? I feel that what you see right now is what you get, no pun intended, for now. But I don't see a major loss. I want to say you might gain some, a little bit here, a little bit there, not all at one time. And that may be why they would suggest some alternative type of medical treatment. Okay. Want to hurry it along. But it has to be your choice because of the risks involved. Okay. Okay? If the doctor hasn't mentioned that, and again, I'm not a doctor, I can't diagnose or prescribe, but you may want to do some research of your own to present to him. Say this, you know, pertaining to what your condition is. This is what I found. What do you feel? Would this apply to me? Because they don't have time to sit down and look for things. Unfortunately, even the specialists, you know, a lot of people will know more than the doctor. And then if you present to him, if he truly is a good doctor, then he's going to at least listen to it and take it under consideration. And I think that's kind of where you're at right now because the same things, you've been doing the same thing for a long time. And it has been maintaining, but we don't want to just maintain, we want to get better. You know, and I would say even trying the alternative things, you know, the Reiki, that type of thing, would be to your benefit. I can vouch for Reiki because I had a brain tumor and it was done, taken away by brain, you know, out of my brain from Reiki treatment alone. And I mean, I have the documentation and everything to prove it. But that made a believer out of me. And, you know, anybody that has, and you have abilities, whether you want to admit to it or not, whether you're all those people out there that know you for one reason or another, no, there's another side to you that they don't know. You know, and that's your spiritual side, which is a very gifted side. I can feel it when I'm sitting across from you, so I know anything that you were to choose on that path, whatever modality you're comfortable with, it could help you. It could benefit your health. So maybe you want to look at it.
I'll do it.
Questions, go ahead and ask.
You mentioned he said give Mom a yellow rose.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because my grandfather grew yellow roses?
It could be, because there's a connection to the yellow roses in your dad. And if your grandpa grew them, that probably could be what it was.
Okay.
Something about you, he didn't specify, he said just give her one. And I know in my experience and my understanding, the yellow rose is eternal friendship. You know, not only just love, but eternal friendship. So that could be that too, because they were each other's best friends. I got to tell you, they loved each other dearly, but when there was difficulties, everyone in the 5-mile radius knew it.
True.
He's saying, yeah, he says, I could yell, but she could too. So I want to say they were equally matched, if you want to put it that way. There's something about a lake. Did you go to a lake or something as a child? Something from your childhood? Because he's saying, remember the lake. Okay, do you understand?
I think I saw. That's the one I remember.
He says, he's just saying, remember the lake, and he's laughing, so whatever transpired there, he's remembering it. Okay? He said you were his cross to bear. So I don't want to say the devil doesn't fall far from the tree, so you know, but better back up a little. But yeah, he said you had your own mind at age 3 and it never left. So I want to say you're doing good, and he's happy with who you've turned out to be. He said there's nothing. There's nothing. He can't say anything. He said some choices when you were younger you could have thought through better, as all of us. but he's saying the end result is just fine.
Does he go? Does he try to talk to Mom?
She is right. No, the thing going on there is the emotion. The more emotional she is, I mean, she's grieving, of course, and a lot of times that grief is so strong it kills the energy. You can't, you know, he could be standing right next to her, and because she is grieving and missing him so much, and angry that he left.
She's very angry.
You know, that's all part of it. How dare you leave me in this mess? You know? And anyone who has lost a spouse feels that. It's a normal part of grieving. And when they let it go on and on and don't seem to get a grip on it, then that interferes. You know, they on the other side, they come to grips with it almost immediately. They can be angry and say, okay, I'm not supposed to be here yet. But then the pull to the unconditional love that's there is stronger than the pull to the earth plane. And they can come back. It doesn't mean they can't come back. It means they go back and forth. But when they do that, if someone, it's like turning the TV on without a cable hooked up. All you're going to get is that white snow. And if that's what's going on, it's because she's either still too upset and not too, you know, not relaxed enough for him to break that barrier. Okay. He said, if I kicked her in the ass, it'd scare her to death.
Maybe he needs to do that anyway.
But if you learn how to do that, let me know. That's the other thing. People think when our loved ones pass that they immediately understand how to use the energy. That is not true. I had a very dear loved one pass, and he was a Native American that could have, when he was here, go what they call it spirit walking, we call it mediumship. he could do that at a drop of a hat. So when he passed, I thought, oh, it's not too bad. He'll be able to come back and talk to me, and I'll talk to him. I mean, it won't be the same thing, but months went by. And I was so angry at him. So the anger didn't help. But I was so mad because I knew he could do it. I thought he was just ignoring me. So finally, after like 16 months, he finally came through. And I didn't even say hello. The first thing I said, why the hell didn't you talk to me? And he says, he always used to call me honey. He says, now wait a minute. He says, honey, he says, I knew I had legs, I just couldn't find the damn things. Because their etherical body is totally, I mean, it's totally different than the physical. And he didn't know how to manipulate it. We have to learn to use that energy all over again from what we are. We're nothing more than energy encased in bodies. But when we come here into these bodies, all that's left behind. Until we go back home, then we have to figure it all out. So, I don't know, you have to learn to walk here. I guess you have to learn to walk there. But that's what happens. But it feels good. There is also a Pauline that passed. Can you place a Pauline for me? I'm hearing the name Pauline being said. Is there two aunts that have also passed, please? It could be both, either side, because they're just saying, and the aunts. Pauline and the aunts.
That's the aunts that passed, not recently.
All right, Pauline I don't feel is an aunt, but she's hanging out with aunts. Ask your mom. It may be a friendship. I want to say, I'm more inclined to say to go to her.
Okay.
You get to be a messenger. You sit in the chair. They don't care who's in the chair. It's a chance to get a message to someone. They're going to take it. You could be shopping in a shopping mall, and the conversation arises where that would all come out. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah. The day he passed, he was trying to tell me something, but he couldn't speak loud enough for me to hear what it was.
You didn't have any intuition as to what it was.
I sort of did, but I was trying to just verify it.
All he's saying is, I love you, I love you, I love you. And yes, you were right. Whatever that the context of this, of what you suspected, he's saying, yes, you were right.
Okay.
Okay? So I'd say to you, go let your heart at ease, because whatever you did or didn't do was the right thing.
Okay.
Okay? He's fine. He's kind of, I would like him. Tells it like it is, you don't like it, oh well, get a grip.
Oh yeah, he was very vocal about that.
Very outspoken with it.
Yeah, he wasn't afraid to say anything.
He misses his Bud Light.
It's weird.
Yeah, he said he's pulling back, so I gotta say, the last thing he's saying is he loves her and he misses his Bud Light. Thank you, Butch. You're not supposed to even know that stuff. He's telling me to keep going because I've been hesitant if I want to continue doing what I do.
Mm-hmm.
It must be it must be a topic of discussion over there or something. You guys don't supposed to talk about me.
So they're going to debate about you?
Yeah, because I'm iffy about continuing, and they're saying, yeah. Oh my God. God bless you guys. Thank you. All right, come on back. You already heard you say I love you. You were just thinking it. Okay?
On August 4th, my dad passed away. He had passed from his battle with cancer. But in the months to follow, at our premiere of Blood of Oma in November, I had run into Charline Schine. She had come up to me and told me that my father was in the theater and that she had met him there. Well, this piqued my interest. So I scheduled a reading with Char to find out a little bit more about that.
He's saying something about the other side of you, your other half, not me, and it's not husband half, the other half of you. He's kind of grinning. So, who's the other half to you?
Char talked about my other half. At first I was really a little bit confused by this because I took it to mean something else. What my dad was speaking of with my other half was my twin brother. And this is one thing that Charlene couldn't have possibly have known. She didn't even know that I had a twin brother.
Very good.
Upcoming trips, absolutely. You have one scheduled to go out of town, not in Pennsylvania, out of town. I would say if you don't have it already scheduled, remember we spoke of it, look to June or July, because I'm getting the warm season.
She said she got the feeling that it would be in June or July. What Char didn't know that I was in the process of looking into traveling to meet with some friends and business partners on the West Coast, which was kind of ironic because a few days later I actually did receive an email that stated from my business partners and friends out there that June or July would be best.
I want to say within the next 4 weeks there's going to be some money that you can work with. All right? It's not the lottery or something like that. Don't I wish I could do that. I would be a millionaire. And I would share it. But money's due you or money's owed you is where I want to put it. Either for purchases or something that you sold or something that someone...
Another thing that was mentioned was Char said that I would be coming into some money. She thought maybe in 3 to 4 weeks' time. Also, she did not know that I was in the process of actually making a deal to sell off some of my properties, which, you know, had not been announced. Nobody had known about it. So, again, another thing that was really odd.
But also he asked for you to give your mom a yellow rose for some reason. I don't know what the significance is. She should know either it's something she really likes or it may have been something he really liked.
She had mentioned to me that my father would like me to present my mother with one yellow rose. Which as a child, my grandfather grew yellow roses. So I think the significance of that is my mom has been attached to yellow roses her whole life. So I think this has a lot of meaning to her. And the thing with the yellow roses is the day my grandfather passed away, they stopped growing.
And he says, and then the damn loud music. So, just leave it, it'll come to you when it's supposed to. He said, the damn loud music. He wasn't sure about that. It's referring to Paul, so it had to be something that Paul did that had loud music. Because he's saying he wasn't sure about that.
The significance of the loud music that she referred to, she said had to do with Paul, which I believe he was referring to the days where Paul was in a band called the Gypsy Poets. So I think I don't know what he thought about the music, but that's what I believe he was referring to.
There's something about a lake. Did you go to a lake or something as a child? Something from your childhood? Because he's saying remember the lake.
Char mentioned to me that my dad said remember the lake. She said he was also kind of smiling or grinning at this. What I think this refers to, what this means to me is, when I was a little girl, my father used to take us to the lake in Canada. Him and I would get on the boat and we would go out to the middle of the lake. And my father would basically toss me off the boat and say, I'll see you back at shore. So I think that was kind of funny to him, and he really wanted me to remember, you know, good things and good times with him.
The last thing he's saying is he loves you and he misses his Bud Light. Thank you, Butch.
Before my dad pulled away from the reading that day, he mentioned that he missed his Bud Light. In a way, there was a thing between my father and I as a teenager that there was things I wanted to do that my mom didn't even know about. She worked nights, and my dad would say, if you go buy me a case of Bud Light, you can do what you want. So my mom didn't know about it, and my brothers had no idea about this either. So I think that was in reference to the little secret that we had between each other, that he would allow me to do things in reference if I would buy him a case of Bud Light. As to the question if I believe that my father actually came through, I do. There are too many things that he had mentioned that she couldn't have possibly known about, and to me I felt like he was there and he was trying to give me some sort of peace that he's okay.